Welcome to yet another chapter of Rome and Go. And today we look into the story of the famous game of Ludo, the game that has won the hearts of people throughout the centuries, has been known as Ludo, Parcheesi, Pachisi, Chaucer, Chopad, and many, many more names throughout the world, throughout the ages. Now, basically, this is a race board game that is believed to have originated in ancient Indian subcontinent region. The name of the game is derived from the Hindi word pachis, meaning 25, which is the largest score that can be thrown when played with cowrie shells. In the older and probably the original version, players' pieces move around the board based upon a throw of six or seven cowrie shells, with the number of shells resting with aperture upwards, indicating the number of spaces to move. Another related version was Chaucer or Chopad. Chaw means four, Pad means paths, signifying the four paths that the players take during the course of the game. The origins, like I said, have been believed to be the Indian subcontinent region, although there are proofs of versions of this game having been played across the world. It has always been very popular in India and the surrounding countries and played by the young and the old and the rich and the poor alike. Since centuries, it has been very popular amongst the people, and many parts of Central and Southeast Asian regions have sounded the popularity and existence of this game. It has been played by people both as means of pleasure as well as gambling. Back in the 16th century, the game of Pachisi was played by Akbar in a uniquely regal manner. The court itself was the board, and an enormous stone raised on 4 feet represented the central point. And it was here that Akbar and his courtiers played this game. 16 slaves, wearing the players' colors, represented the pieces and moved to the squares according to the throw of the dice. This painting belongs to a series illustrating the Ras Manjari, a 15th century Sanskrit love poem by Bhanudat, which is devoted to the expression and classification of the moods and emotions of lovers. Goddess Parvati is pleading with her husband Lord Shiva, who playfully cheated her out of a necklace in a game of chopper, which signifies the importance of the game. Cave number 21 in the Ellora Caves, which dates back to the 6th century, is adorned with finely executed sculptures. The panel in this view is on the rear wall and represents Shiva and Parvati playing the dice. In the times of the Mahabharata, Pasha, which was named after the Pasas, the long dice, was another name of this game. The famous game that led to the infamous war. The game was played and won by Shakuni, with the Pasas or the long dice carved out of his father's bones against the Pandavas. Around the same time, 5000 years ago, there existed a two-player version known as the Royal Game of Ur, and it was played by the royalty in Sumer. The game was also played in Egypt by the name of Senet along the same time, and it was played by the ancient Egyptians. Over the next millennium, the Egyptian texts came to describe the game as reflecting the movement of soul through the Egyptian realm of the dead and towards the afterlife. A Mesoamerican version also existed, which was played by the Aztecs and was named as Patoli. It was a game of strategy and luck played by commoners and nobles alike. The ancient Mayans also played a version of Patoli. Players would meet and gamble. They would bet blankets, precious stones, gold ornaments, food, and in extreme cases, their homes, family, and even their freedom. Now, Pachisi came to the USA because of John Hamilton from the Hudson Bay in 1867. He registered the game under the name Pachisi, which became very popular but sounded more like pot cheesy, which is a cheese dish which did not quite match with the game. In 1870, he sold the rights to a New York game company which became to be known as Selchow and Writer. And in 1874, they trademarked it as Parcheesi, making it one of the oldest trademarked games in America. For decades, it was subtitled Royal Game of India. And for 119 years, this company cashed on the growing popularity of this addictive game. The first British version was produced around 1860 by the firm of Jacques and Son, and in 1896 or somewhere around that, the British simplified it to become a children's game which they called Ludo. In Latin, this means I play. The Western versions had introduced colorful dice and a cup for throwing it. Although there are references and evidence to a cubical dice being used in Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, and Lothal, made of light red clay, well baked, and sometimes coated with a red wash. Soon the game gathered momentum in the late 19th century and traveled to different countries with different versions emerging everywhere. Known by the name of Uckers, the Ludo became popular in the British Royal Navy and the armed forces also. Aggravation, yet another name of the same game, is popularly played and sold. Chinese and Spiel, which means the game of the Chinese, is the 19th century German game sold as a children's game, which is an adaptation of the Ludo family. Also, a simplified version, so there is only one piece per player. This is another version, the Mensch board. It presents a version which was invented in 1907 in Germany, and it is called Mensch Agre dich nicht. Simply translated in English, it means man, don't get angry. And some 70 million copies have been sold since its introduction in 1914. There are versions which are allowing 6 players to play at the same time, which is the six-handed Pachisi. One more version, Sorry, has been entertaining children and adults alike for many years. And it was an Englishman, William Henry Story, who invented the game originally and patented it in the UK in 1929. Almost all countries around the world have their versions of this famous game of Ludo. The game has enjoyed more than its share of popularity, both for reasons good and bad. But it has survived all through. It has survived the ever dynamic world and even flourished. It has seen dynasties rise and fall, caused wars beyond comprehension, and still a rage amongst people worldwide. What the world needs to learn from the story of Ludo? That times change, and times will not stop changing. The world itself is inherently changing, but it survived owing to one reason: adaptation. Adaptation is the key to survival. From Chopad to Ludo, it changed so many forms, but its essence remains the same: putting people in the race to be the first to finish.